Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna. I'm here for a deep dive test drive of a deck today on what will probably be the last beautiful, summery day of the fall before Samhain. It's supposed to be 75 today. We're having a cookout this afternoon. I can't wait. Anyhow, the deck is an appropriately Samhain deck. And this is the Witch's Tarot. I've had this for a long time. Can you guess why I haven't unboxed it yet? Um, the main reason is the size, but the other reason is that this is a Llewellyn mini deck. And Llewellyn's minis are truly minis in that the size is smaller than Los Garabaos minis, it's smaller than US Games minis, and also no book. So why am I unboxing it now? Because I got this, and I'm going to pull up a browser here because I want to tell you something. I got this on one of the pages that I follow on Facebook that are about tarot-y stuff. And one of them is, I just want to get the names right, Tim and Alan's Tarot Marketplace. That might have been the one I got this one from. There's also a tarot swap sell review, tarot and oracle deck swap sell review. So when you go to these pages, and frequently you'll see somebody post something that says, I'm decluttering, I'm downsizing my collection, here's a bunch of decks, and this is caveat emptor time, because it is up to you, the buyer, to look at these decks to determine if the seller is a legit seller. So immediately I went to their personal profile and saw they'd been on for many years and had photos of family and stuff. Okay, legit person. And then looking to determine whether it's a legit deck or a bootleg. And if you can't tell by looking at it, certainly contact the seller. Make sure you're buying something. Unless you don't have a problem buying a bootleg, I have a problem with that. But this is a legit copy, so here we go. Witch's Tarot. This is Llewellyn, as I said before. 2012 is the date of this deck, the release date. Enter the world of the witch. Here the Hierophant becomes the high priest, the Wheel of Fortune becomes the Wheel of the Year, and Judgment becomes Karma. Based on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck and filled with images that speak to today's magical practitioner, witchcraft takes center stage in this stunning deck designed by highly respected witch and tarot reader Ellen Dugan. Featuring the vibrant artwork of award-winning artist Mark Evans, Witch's Tarot is the perfect combination of tarot and the craft. In addition to card descriptions and meanings, Dugan's companion guide features spell-enhancing spreads, such as the Triple Goddess spread, the Four Elements spread, and the Wheel of the Year spread, that you can use in both tarot readings and magical practice, which is why I was so disappointed not to get a little white book with this deck. Obviously, you're missing a lot. So I would say, in general, if you're going to get a Llewellyn mini, don't get it unless you already have the big one, because you're not going to get much. Okay, we got a ribbon pull. I love the triple moon here. And the silvery, look at the silver inside. That's beautiful. Very witchy. Much appreciated. All right, let's take a look at the book. As I will it, so shall it be. Maiden, mother, and crone, now guide my hand and heart. Show me your wisdom today by this witch's art. With the power of 3 times 3, as I will it, so shall it be. I really wish that witches that are writing incantations and verses and things would pay more attention to the poetic meter. I get so bugged when I'm reading something and suddenly it totally switches meter in between. Why does this bug me? I'm fussy, I know. But because rhythm engages more of your brain, there's a definite magical advantage to things being in a steady rhythm that engages your brain in that way. So anyway, I won't go any further with that. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Okay, I'm not going to read that whole back thing there. So first printing, okay, Witch's Tarot Companion 2012 First edition, fifth printing, 2016. Okay, got it. So we have the introduction, My Tarot Journey, Symbolism, Language of the Tarot, Performing a Witch's Tarot Reading for Yourself, a charm for personal meditative readings. I think that's probably that. Performing a reading for another. Then we have the majors and the minors. We have, look at the spreads. This whole thing here. 1 card, 3 cards, 7 card horseshoe, significator card reading, court cards as significator cards, astrological and elemental personalities, triple goddess, 4 elements, wheel of the year spreads, magic with the witch's tarot deck, court cards for personal magic and meditation, calling on the pages for inspiration and enthusiasm, other spellcasting options with court cards. This is wonderful. Tarot and Witchery, basic directions, tarot spell to enhance magical or tarot studies, to create a strong united covenant circle for abundance, protection, attracting romance, heal a broken heart, hearth and home, Appendix 1, minor arcana number and court card meanings, Appendix 2, symbols in tarot cards, bibliography and acknowledgments. Do we even get anything of a bio here? Let's find out. Yes, we do, in fact, in the very, very first pages of the book. About the author, Ellen Dugan, also known as the Garden Witch, is a psychic clairvoyant who lives in Missouri with her husband and 3 children. A practicing witch for over 29 years, Ellen is an award-winning author of over a dozen books and a highly respected tarot reader. Visit her website at ellendugan.com and her popular blog, Blog of Witchery, at ellendugan.blogspot.com. About the artist, Mark Evans, Queens, New York, is an award-winning artist who has created storyboards, concept designs, and production illustrations for hundreds of clients around the world, including Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, and Marvel Comics. Visit Mark's website at cloudmover.net. Mark would like to dedicate the art in this deck to the memories of his mother and father. All right, the introduction is long enough. My Tarot Journey. The road of life twists and turns, and no 2 directions are ever the same, yet our lessons come from the journey, not the destination. I've been reading the Tarot for over 24 years. How I first became interested is a little unusual, some would even say unorthodox. So did an old G-word woman hand me a battered, faded tarot deck under the light of a full moon? Was I fascinated with the... Okay, blah, blah. Started using cards because it was a way to get folks to relax when I did clairvoyant readings. When I began working the psychic fair circuit, I was a young mother of 3 in my 20s. I used no props of any kind. I just turned on my tape recorder and focused on the client, classically called a querent, and then I asked to hold their hand and let it rip. Of course, most people did not care to have me just sit there, some cocky 24-year-old holding their hand and strolling right through their heads. It caught them off guard, and honestly, it frightened them. Scaring people was the last thing I wanted to do. Oh, why? It's fun. With that thought in mind, I watched other readers and realized that the props, flashy tarot cards, candles, and the occasional, albeit cheesy, crystal ball made their clients relax. All right. It was 90s, blah, blah, blah. Being practical, went out, found a pretty tarot deck, and memorized those suckers. Memorized 3 basic keywords for each card. Started to seriously study after they got those down, found a few basic books. Every card has a story to tell, became thoroughly enchanted by the symbolism and magic. Over the past 20 years, I've had a favorite basic tarot deck and funky new ones, but never had a tarot deck that felt magical enough. Okay, I wondered to myself if a strong, elegant deck with classic and beautiful images that witches could identify with would ever come along. Honey, they were already there. Tarot of the Old Path, Ellen Cannon Reed's Witches Tarot, they were there. I'm sorry you didn't find them back then. Okay. Over 2.5 years in the physical creation, I think you will find it worth the wait. Symbolism, the language of the tarot. Okay, so they talk about keywords, upright and reversed meanings. Performing a witch's tarot reading for yourself. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So there's a quote from someone that's by Richard Steele at the beginning of every section of a chapter. How to begin a charm for personal meditative readings. Created by a witch to be used as a tool. There is wisdom here from the World card to the Fool. With 78 lessons and messages to receive, may I gain enlightenment as I will, so mote it be. Okay. Performing a reading for another. Ask if the client has ever had a reading before, ask them what specific question they have. So yeah, that was something I always did, and nobody taught me to do it. I just did it as kind of an icebreaker, starting off doing psychic fairs. Somebody sits down, I'd say, hi, what's your name, blah blah, introduce myself. Have you ever had a card reading before? And if they said no, it's like, don't be scared of blah blah blah. If they said yes, then off we go. Ask them for a specific question. You don't have to read reversed cards. Never predict death. Know your deck. Storing your cards. Remember, it's okay to laugh and have fun with a tarot reading. Absolutely. Humor can get messages over easily. It's a fool's prerogative to utter truths that no one else will speak. That's Neil Gaiman. And here we are into the book. So unlike other big box Llewellyn decks that have a book this size and have glossy paper through the whole thing, and then we get glossy full page images, we get black and white full-ish page images. Okay, so we have a long description. Then we have a section on meanings. Then we have keywords, deity associations, astrological association, and reversed. When we go to the minors, we do, and wait a minute, I want to see something here. When we get to the minors, we start off with cups. So we do have a little section on the minors. In the tarot, as in magic, the four emblems stand for the world itself and for human nature. That's Rachel Pollack. Then we go into the minors and we get the same thing. We get a description, shorter, meanings, and then keywords for upright and reversed. Now, let's go. Tarot spreads. What could be more convincing, moreover, than the gesture of laying one's cards face up on the table? Jacques Lacan. All right. 1 card, 3 card, past, present, future, unknown, what's blocking you, how to proceed. Okay. 7 card horseshoe spread. I love this spread. This spread I found in a book called Classic Tarot Spreads, and I can't remember who the author is there. Okay, she says it's her favorite one. Without a doubt, it's my favorite style of tarot reading. What is nice is that you can layer another set of cards over the first. Shuffle them well, ask your question, deal out 7 from left to right to create a horseshoe. Now take a careful look at the cards in your reading. Now, the one I learned, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you dealt them out that way, but this was the first card that you turned and it told you what the reading was about. I used to use this spread when I would go up to Kent State for this kind of afternoon. I can't even remember what they called it. Tarot Tuesday or something like that, and sit up there or it's like their Halloween parties and stuff where you want to do quick readings to really move a lot of people through. And I would do that, and that card at the top would always be bang on the money. Then it went past, present, future, I think yourself, another, and the outcome, or another, hopes and fears, outcome, something like that. Okay, significator card reading. Card typically represents the querent or client. Significator may also be used to illustrate circumstances about which the guidance is being sought. Okay, so you remove it from the deck and place it face up in the center of the table. I don't like doing significators this way, and I'm doing a deeper study of Lenormand right now, and the significator in that context, you activate the card in your mind. Here's the card. Let's say somebody's asking about a trip they want to take. You activate the ship card, then you shuffle, you find the card in the deck and take out, the 2 or 3 cards before and after it. And that becomes your spread. So the significator's in the middle. You can also activate a card, and I find this way the most helpful. Activate a card in your mind. So with the tarot, I want to know what's going on with my relationship. And maybe we activate the Lovers or we activate the 2 of Cups. And then keep it in the deck, shuffle, and see if and where it comes out, because then it's going to be a validator that you've got a valid reading, but it's also going to just make it more meaningful, you know? Okay. Physical appearance, court cards as significators. We've got astrological signs, elements, the triple goddess spread. Okay. So they have a little, I think, meditation or little story here. And then there's that little charm that I read from the back of the book here. Then you deal 3 cards. You'll have 9, 3 cards under each aspect of the goddess. You'll have 9 in all. This is my 10-card reading. I started with doing Celtic Cross for myself, but very quickly found in that same classic tarot spreads book, the Wheel of Fortune spread, where you have 9 sections and 3 cards in each. And I really found that it tells a more complete story. So my 10-card reading is usually 3, 3, 3, and then 1 at the end. Okay. Maiden shows you possibilities. Mother shows how your project and goals have come to fruition. Crone shows the outcome in your karma. Okay, then we have the 4 elements spread. The Wheel of the Year spread. 8 cards. Okay, so you're going to do a clockwise thing and have 8 cards. Magic with the witches. There's magic, but you have to be the magician. You have to make the magic happen. Court cards for personal magic. Calling. You know what? I'm going to let you discover this. That might be a separate video. I think it will. King's verse, Queen's verse. I do have other books that have spell work with each card. I think the Wizard's Tarot does, or Spellcasters. The Spellcasters deck, obviously. That might be a very interesting video. Tarot and Witchery Basic Directions. And yeah, fascinating. Let's get to the cards. Okay, first off, let's take a look at the size difference here. That is, sorry, that is significant. And I'm very excited because I love how small these are. And I love that I'm going to be able to use them now. All right, so we have the triple moon on the back, and they're not non-directional. They are directional. You'll be able to tell when one's reversed. No matter, and oh boy, am I going to edge these in black, for sure. Okay, so here's the Fool. Very recognizable image. The artwork is, you know, realistic-ish, but a little bit cartoony. You see there's not, like, the shadows aren't really softly blended in. Look at this little dog. Dog looks like he's taken off instead of biting at a heel. And the clouds and the mountains, you certainly get the depth in these cards, which I really appreciate. That distance and perspective. Here's the Magician. The finger pointing down. The lemniscate, the roses. There's a lot of light popping out of the cards, which is beautiful. The symbols on his robe. Yes, the artwork is gorgeous. You know what? I'm curious. Okay, so I just took a little sidestep to see what other decks Mark Evans may have illustrated, and he hasn't. There's Marvel comics and Game of Thrones and things like that, but not any other, whoops, sorry, tarot decks that I could see there. A little too bright. All right, so here's the High Priestess. So you get kind of that comic booky that I was trying to look for. You know, what is it that I'm trying to describe? It is a bit comic booky. Do you see how high contrast the shadows are and everything? They look beautiful. There's a little cat. The moon's on the columns. There's the Empress. Again, everything is familiar, but look at the shininess. I love the contrast between, like, look at his armor and these really super sharp shadows. I'm going to take this down even farther. Really sharp shadows, and then you go into that far distance and everything gets hazy. I really like that contrast. There's the High Priest with the crossed keys. He looks a little bit like Mickey Rooney at first glance, but you know. There's the Lovers. Look at the angel in the sky. So they are very familiar images that have been just redone, you know. Look at the chariot in the clouds. Wow. That's really cool. That's gorgeous. There's so much movement. They're very dynamic. Here's strength. Look at that lion. The hermit. Again, the light. I love the magic of artists in bringing light out of something dull, you know? It's amazing. There's the wheel with the 8 spokes, the pentagram in the middle. And I like, instead of the fixed signs, we have the symbols of the elements. That's pretty cool. And the seasons too. Isn't that? Okay, which one's winter? I don't know. All right. Anyhow, here's justice. Again, they're beautiful. And it's great when you have a deck that sticks close enough to the traditional, but gives you just a new view. It wakes your brain up. When I was doing those psychic fairs, and it would be, all day with the same deck, that's when I started switching to another deck, because you look at the same images again and again, and you can just get stale. And something like this can just fresh your brain up. Here's the death card. Wow. Very cool. Temperance. I love the rainbow. The shadow side is the devil. Uh-huh. The tower. Ooh. I mean, it's, like I said, dynamic. And this was the problem I had with Rider-Waite in the beginning, was the images were so flat. When I got that Hanson Roberts and suddenly there was a 3D to it, I could see emotions. This takes it even a step farther. Just the very 3D, kapow. You can feel the force of it. Here's the star, the moon. Interesting that it's a waning moon. And the sun, look at that. I love the juxtaposition of moon and sun cards. There's karma for the judgment card. And the world. And it's the green man. And here we do see the fixed signs, but instead of a bull, we get a stag. I love that too. Suits, Ace of Wands. Look at the sunrise. Absolutely glorious. There's the 2 with a cat. The 3. I love the flowering of the wands. You know what I'm curious about? All right, let's see here. Good grief. Wands. Okay, so the wands are the element of fire. I wanted to see if they changed that, because in witchery, it doesn't quite work, at least not for me. Look at the 4. Look at the dancing. And the women dressed in the colors of the elements. That's gorgeous. The 5. Wow. Look at the dragon battle. Now that really looks like a battle. There's the 6, victory. Again, the shiny, shiny armor. The 7. You feel yourself in the middle of it. Here's me and all this shit coming at me. And then the 8. So how interesting that this one has wands coming at you. Here's the 8, clear sailing. Off they go. There's the 9. And the 10. Ooh, I love that knotwork. Dragon on the back. Page. Ah! Kind of hard to tell what he's thinking there. The Knight. The Queen. Oh, she's so beautiful. And the King. I love the smile. I see emotion on people's faces, and the King of Wands would definitely be a king that's smiling. So would the King of Cups. This is one of my favorite cards in most decks. Just that flowing water and how artists are able to portray that. There's the 2, a hand fasting. The 3, this is kind of reminding me of Pagan Ways, Gendron is one, might be the Gendron, or Sacred Circle. They look, the people in this look kind of photographic, like we've painted over top. The rest of them, I was getting a little bit of that, but that one I definitely get it. There's the 4. A child there, and the 5. Oh. 6. Look at these little toe-headed babies. It's a white deck, obviously. I have seen no variance in skin tone yet. There's the 7 of Cups, the 8, which goes to show you 2012, there wasn't a whole lot of that going on, of diversity, you know. 9, that's beautiful, and the 10, woohoo. The Page in the Wave, that's great. The Knight, the Queen, beautiful. And the King, he looks kind of stern. Then we have the Swords. There's the 2 with the blindfold. The little fairies here and there. And there and here, 3 of Swords. It's a kind of a plump heart. Plump and very round. But like I said, the dimensionality, they're very rounded and full. There's the 4 of Swords. That's a departure. Kind of looks like the 5 of Swords. And then here's the 5. How interesting. That's the first like real departure I've seen. And there's the 6. And there's the 7. He just looks like he's happily on a walk here. He's kind of smirking, but interesting. There's the 8. And the 9. And the 10. I like the owl. Page and Knight. Yaha. Yes, I like seeing the different movements of the horses because they're significant. The Swords is the fastest, then comes Wands, then comes Cups. She's beautiful. And there's himself. And then the Pentacles is the Knight that doesn't go anywhere. Very shiny. 2. The 3. He's collaborating with the cat. He's planning. The 4. So, how, you know, I'm glad there's a cat here. But without the cat, it's like, what's the difference between the 3 or the 2 of Wands, making a plan, executing a plan, and the 3 of Pentacles, which is supposed to be the active collaboration? Here's the 4. That's familiar. The 5. The little snowdrop there. So that's a departure too, because they left out the church, which makes sense. Here's the 6. Happy kids. Uncle pulling a quarter out from behind your ear. There's the 7 and the 8. And the 9. Oh, look at the blooming pentacles. The 10. We kind of lose, you know, this is a little 10 of Cups-ish here, because the Waite-Smith 10 of Pentacles, nobody's looking at each other. They're all looking at something else. It's, you know, and the focus on the material rather than the emotional. There's the Page. There's the Knight standing still. Look at the stag. There's the Queen, the little doggy, and the King. I hope I didn't whip through those too fast for you, but I figure I'm telling so many dang stories today that I don't want it to be too long. Let's give it a blessing, shall we? It is a beautiful deck. It makes a difference seeing it big than seeing it small. The one advantage to the small one is there's no border of any kind. But the large one, we don't have white borders, we have black ones, so that's not much of an issue either. But now I feel like this is a deck I shall be able to use. Not like I couldn't before, they're familiar enough. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. But I like to hear from, this deck is the artist's deck. This is Mark Evans' deck. This one is Ellen Dugan and Mark Evans, right? Then by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may any negativity be cleared and the spirit awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me to deliver a message to my viewers that will be helpful for them whenever they're watching this video. And I offer you fresh water, gratitude. I offer you the fire of Azrael, and this is to offer gratitude as well to the author and artist. Are we burning? There we are. So, give her a shuffle. So the cardstock is Llewellyn cardstock. It feels thin. It feels like it's going to shuffle like a dream. I can hold it in my hand without an issue. Look at that. Sweet. See, look, I can hold it and go like this. All right. I'm going to give the full 7 shuffles because it really does randomize the best. That's 2. All right, let's concentrate on you guys. 3. Whoop. What do my viewers need to know today, whenever they happen to click on this video? What do we need to know? They're fussing about that, so I guess I'm going to stop. What do we need to know? I did an experiment the other day, and I took a deck that was in order, and I just did 7 riffle shuffles, and even the top and bottom cards. I mean, it does fully randomize the deck. So what do we need to know today to move forward in the best way possible, to bring our best selves and all of ourselves to each moment, to bring our special gifts? Oops, here we go. Okay. We're going to go like this since they landed face up. We get the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So you see we got a very good mix anyhow. The 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups. How interesting. And the Hanged Man, and I have 3 extras. So, I wonder. No, I'm going to do this because I was going to do 3, 3, 3. Maid, Mother, Crone. You know what? Let's do that. Maid, Mother, and then Crone on the bottom. All right. All right. 3 of Wands, 7 of Cups, Page of Pentacles. And this puts the Hanged Man at the center of the reading, which is pretty cool. The one major that we have. So what do we need to know about? We're hanging out right now. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. We're in waiting mode. I am recording this on October 21st, 2024. So that should tell you what we're all hanging out and waiting for. All right. Waiting mode. How do we wait is the question. What do I do when things are uncertain? What do I do when I don't have an answer or when it's just not time yet? What do I do? Do I wait? Am I able to willingly sort of surrender to the moment, or am I freaking out? This calls us to surrender to the time, surrender to the moment, to the things that we cannot change, that serenity prayer, But at the top here, a plan has been launched into action. We have a lot of wool gathering on what does that mean? What's it going to bring? What's going to happen? And then Page of Pentacles here is about structured study of something. Let me go through these quick, then I'll go to the book. Eight of Wands says things start moving fast, but there's a lot rushing around us. Rush, rush, rush. Stuff is whooshing around us while we kind of sit still. Nothing else for us to do. And then Eight of Cups is here talking about really walking away from those things that suck our emotional energy. Down here we have the Four of Swords, resting. This is kind of a partner here. Oops, here. Partner of the Hanged Man. This is take a rest or it's going to be forced on you. This talks about cutting some things away and then coming back to past happiness. And then the last one is Five of Cups, loss. Oh my God. Okay. Three of Wands. Okay. I'll read this one fully because this is going to be long. A brown-haired young man stands high on a cliff overlooking the water and the horizon. His high vantage point allows him to see the big picture. In his left hand, he holds up a blooming and beribboned wand of hawthorn. Just behind him, two more tall wands are planted in the ground as if in support. The man has a band around his head to keep his hair out of his eyes and his vision of the future clear. How interesting, these little tiny details, see? He wears an orange tunic and a rich red cloak. These fiery colors are a visual link to the element of fire, which correlates with the suit of wands. See, this is the detail you get that really informs the whole deck. The young man gazes out on the calm sea where there are two ships sailing in the distance as if he's waiting for his ships to come in. Perhaps he's waiting to board one of those boats and set off on new adventures so he can explore the unknown. He's actively watching, waiting, and letting events unfold. This is an exciting card and one full of possibilities and impending success. The bright sky and calm seas illustrated in this card show that this is an optimistic card and that the future looks bright. When the Three of Wands turns up in a reading, it illustrates a time of expectation. The querent may be waiting for news about a project or proposal. The overall theme of this card is optimism and active waiting. It shows the beginning of a project and the hope that comes from making plans for a new career or life. Remember that things are always in motion, nothing is at rest, and change is constant. The Three of Wands usually represents the person receiving the reading. This card may be nudging you towards taking on more of a leadership role at work or in your coven. This is a time of expansion and growth. Be like the Watcher in the Three of Wands, keep a sharp eye, and allow events to unfold. There is reason to be optimistic and to have hope. The future looks bright. Keywords: active waiting, everything is in constant motion, expansion, growth, taking on a leadership role, keeping an eye on your future goals. The future looks bright. Reversed: unrealistic expectations, disagreement with co-workers, conflicting spiritual views with coven mates. So the Three of Wands, the Two of Wands is kind of like, I'm thinking of what's the plan? It's the devising, the inspiration. The Three of Wands is the plan is launched now. It's in motion. All I have now to do is wait, right? But as we're waiting, we've got the Seven of Cups, which is like, how's it going to turn out? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Which is one of the reasons why the Hanged Man came up in the middle here. Because it's saying, instead of pulling the energy back that you just launched in a spell, maybe, by, thinking about what could happen, that calls the energy back to you rather than releasing it. So this and this, that's a card of release. This is a card of, no, I'm still worrying about it. We really need to release. So the Page of Pentacles, wait. Seven of Cups. I'm just going to read keywords: choice. Many wonderful options lie before you. Choose one of these cups and their lessons for yourself. All right. What sort of knowledge will the element of air blow into your world? Sharpen your intellect, hone your... This is cups? Cups? Yes. Huh. Why are we talking about air? I'm not going to read that whole thing. Okay. So here, this is... the meaning that I'm getting. I will certainly look up the keywords. So Page says, a time of study, love of nature, patience, kindness, generosity, being drawn to the fairy realm, enthusiasm, success. Take the time to focus on your spirituality. With Pentacles. That's interesting. This to me says putting something into practical practice, practical work, getting the tools in your hands. It's like the Eight of Pentacles is really about getting the tools in your hands. Page is about studying. So instead of using your mind, pulling back all the energy of the project that you're trying to launch or that you have launched, let's say, what can I do with my hands? What can I study? What can I read that's going to further me while I'm waiting for this to return? All right. Eight of Wands. The order of this is weird. She goes cups, and then she goes swords, and then she goes wands and pentacles. Okay. The eight. Movement, action, things coming to a swift completion, the positive manifestation of spell work, travel for business or pleasure, typically travel by air, long distance communication. So positive manifestation of spell work. So we're studying here. This is where, it's released, it's going out, things are swiftly coming back to us, but we don't know exactly when. So now we need to wait. Let's look at the Hanged Man. I'll read a little more of this one to see what we get for the majors. A young man is calmly hanging upside down from his right foot on an ash tree. While he hangs there, he is in a transitional state or undoing, oh my God, I'm going too fast, or undergoing an initiation of some kind. There you go, initiation, which calls you to surrender. So I'm looking at the keywords here: initiation, transitional phase of life, relax and let changes come, new outlook on life, rune magic, gaining a new perspective on a current situation. So being patient, relaxing, but surrendering to this initiation. You're going through deep change inside. Things around outside are changing like mad because you've launched them, right? And now we just have to be patient and serene while we wait for it to come back. All right. And we're gaining a new outlook while we're waiting. Okay, here's the Eight of Cups. Moving on with your life, leaving the past behind you, setting healthy boundaries. So one of the things that we can do while we're waiting is clean out. What is it that we want to leave behind here? The Seven of Cups is that invitation to go digging back into your emotional scars and to pick scabs and look at them again and bring it all up again, right? But this, we need to release. And here's the emotional release from the Seven of Cups. Rather than going around and around and around on it, we move away. All right. Four of Swords. Taking some downtime for yourself, resting and allowing yourself to fully recover from an illness, recouping lost energy, working magic as a solitary for a while, finding your focus. It's interesting that this one that's all about rest, they decided to have someone in kind of a dynamic pose rather than lying down. Talks about feeling overwhelmed. You might need to get away. You need to allow time for yourself to recover. Step away from group magic. I like that there's that little layer of craft in there. But yeah, time to rest, moving away from the emotional stuff, take a break. And then the Ace of Swords, success, truth, awareness, victory. Determination, take action now. A clear perception leads to spirit and a closer connection to deity, the element of air. So after we've done this, emotional house cleaning here, and we're taking a rest, we've surrendered, then it's time to stand up and take action again. Six of Cups takes us into a place of, okay, how interesting that we've got the Eight of Cups here, walking away from those old emotional things that drain you, the current things where your emotional energy is just going down the hole. And then at the end here, we have these wonderful memories. So we get rid of the old stuff that's in the way of our joy and our manifesting of that joy, and we go back to happy memories. Instead of the wool gathering of the seven, how is this going to turn out? It could be this, it could be that. This is happy memories. Happy memories, old friends, childhood, family and school reunions. Let your imagination soar. Believe in magic again. Then we have the Four of Cups as the outcome. Snap out of the funk you're in. Change, adventure, and opportunity await you. Quit moping and do something positive. Assistance is coming from unexpected places. So, this can actually talk about what the whole issue is here, that we're just feeling mopey. We're feeling like nothing is satisfying. And it's because we've been ground down to bloody stumps, right? In October of 2024. Wool gathering. How's it going to come out? How's it going to come out? You know? So, practical steps here. Distract the mind with learning something new. Things are moving fast, but we're just hanging out and waiting. We've got to dump the old emotions that we're generating for ourselves. Take a break, take a rest, take the hair off the cards. And then it's time, once the truth comes up, it's time to get swinging. But we've got happiness, going back to happier times at the end there. I'm going to take hits on this Four of Cups. So yeah, that's the acknowledgement. So we have 10 of Pentacles in the High Priestess. Do your devotional work. Do your devotional work. I'm going to see what they say about High Priestess. Take yourself to that, to your ritual space where you can be in direct communion with spirit and get some inner peace for yourself. The maiden aspect of the goddess: neutrality, initiation, wisdom, inner knowledge, intuition, lunar energy and magic, waxing moon magic, the feminine mysteries of the craft. Okay, so going to the inner places to take care of yourself. 10 of Pentacles, that is success, enjoyment of material things, commitment, community, financial success, happy and content, family and coven, support, thankfulness, loyalty, family, legacy of magic, inherited psychic talents. Okay, how interesting. Legacy. So hang out with your family, hang out with your deep self, take good care of yourself so that you're not just feeling very dulled. A lot is going on while we have to sit still and wait. So while you're waiting, do some good magic for yourself. Don't forget what happiness feels like. Keep thinking about the times that we want to go back to here so we can hold that in our mind as a goal. And wow, what do you think? Okay, this wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, which is a good thing. Long enough, I say. But please let me know what you think down below as you look through the fog. What do you think? Did the reading resonate? It did for me. I was trying not to get topical, but it is very pertinent to the times we're living in. If you're watching this at some wildly different time than when I posted it, let me know what you thought of the message. Also, if you would like to buy me a deck and get a personal reading, there's a wish list down below. Buy me one of those decks and send me a question, and I will read for you on my unboxing video. All right, you guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Until I see you next time, this is Luna. Blessed be.